Real Madrid just got destroyed by Bayern Munich. Let's look at the lineup because I think the lineup has so much to do with the fact that we lost. We played a similar lineup to which was played against City, but there were two differences. Carrera started at left back and Mbappé started next to Vinnie. So before the match, this is the lineup I wanted to be played. It was the same one we played against City, but Carreras was still playing. And I remember in that City match how well the team played as a team. They were so well coordinated, so much fluidity in their passing, just the way they play as a team. It was beautiful to watch and it was great to see us finally start to get on par with the PSGs and the Bayern Munichs. So the reason why I brought up PSG and Bayern Munich is that is the standard, and to play like them is the standard. Why are they the standard? They play as a team. Simple as that. They're not selfish, they're very unselfish. They have great coaches that tells them to press, to play as a team, play as a unit. And it works. And it felt like Real Madrid was starting to play like that. They were starting to get on that level. But now because of the return of Mbappé, Arbeloa was kind of forced, or I don't even know if he was forced, but he played Mbappé anyways. And I immediately noticed we were impressing. Let me show you a few clips here. Mbappé and Vinnie were not pressing. They let the other players around them press, run around, but the two of them are just standing like that. It's like we have the two best players in the world, but it's just like they won't press. They're so high paid, and it's so crazy. They are the highest paid athletes, highest paid footballers, but it's crazy. You would get more passion and more pressing, more team fluidity in Sunday league teams. Why is it that the best players in the world can't adapt? Because they were allowing Bayern Munich to gain confidence, to pass around, and they were dominating position. They dominated position and in turn dominated the match and won the match. Vinny in particularly disappointed me a lot because he missed goal scoring opportunities. I mean, let's look at this one. Goalkeeper to beat, and he runs away from the goal and then he kicks miss. And to top it all off, he was missing a lot, skying the ball, not pressing. He overall had a very bad performance. And he was quite selfish. There was many times he had Carreras next to him, players next to him, and he goes for a very, very dumb shot. I don't think it's the problem. He's had good performances, but it's like him next to Mbappé is such a bad duo. They both don't press. Their defensive work is so trash. And they go for very selfish shots. So a lot of you guys believe that I'm an Mbappé hater. I'm not an Mbappé hater, but I do have criticism for him because defensive work is trash. Yes, goal scoring wise is great. He did miss a lot of good opportunities. I mean, Arda Güler put in a sneaky pass for him and he missed. I don't think many would have scored that. Neuer was just on a whole different level. But I will give Mbappé credit. He scored the only goal that was scored in this match for Real Madrid. And that is a good thing to go into the second leg. I can hate on his performance. I can say he must be benched, all these things. But that goal is important. So props to him for scoring that goal. He did way better than all the other players in that factor. They were all missing. Well, I mean, the only ones who actually had opportunities were Vinny and Mbappé. Vinny was missing sitters and Mbappé scored. So I will say Mbappé, fantastic. But you guys also have to understand that when I say Mbappé has to be benched, I'm looking at the matches which we played before he returned from injury. We won 5 matches in a row and we beat Man City convincingly twice. We beat Atletico and we played well without Mbappé. The moment he returned to the starting 11, which was against Mallorca, we lost. His next match against Bayern Munich, he starts. We lose. Do you see what that paints in a person's head? Matter of fact, it's not even this. There have been many matches he played and we played trash. We won, but as a team, there was no fluidity and we won by pure luck. As a matter of fact, I made a community post about him in which many of you guys actually who are watching this video left some very interesting comments and kind of comments that were targeted at me. But you know what? Let's check it out and let's see if what these people are actually saying is valid. So this community post I made just after the first half because I already noticed Mbappé was playing trash. So I said people will still argue that Mbappé doesn't make us worse. He has not put in any defensive work at all in the first half and his positioning is so bad. The team never has any fluidity when he's on the pitch. We look unrecognizable from the Man City match. If Florentino Perez is serious, he would sell Mbappé next summer. So I understand why people would be upset with what I said because Mbappé scored in the second half, so it's like, it's a gotcha moment. It's like, well, you said all that and then Mbappé scored. And you know what's crazy? You see how one goal from Mbappé can deceive this entire Real Madrid fan base. because a lot of them were saying the complete opposite. This guy says, I'm sorry but your take is BS, especially for this Bayern match. How is that BS when it's true? He was putting in no effort defensively. I can show you here on the screen. No effort defensively. It was so bad that Brahim and Bellingham had to come up and they had to press. They pressed for Mbappé. That is insane, like straight up. Like good on him for scoring the goal, but further on, look at the guy's entire performance in the match. It's not just about one goal. What can we take from the first leg against Bayern and look at it positively to the next match? We can say, oh, he can score a goal. Further on, no defensive work from the front, no pressing, nothing. And then this guy says, I expected better from this channel, posting false narratives. If any attacker is to blame, it's Vinnie. Vinnie mistakes led to both Bayern goals. Also, his ineffectiveness on goal, a 1v1 straight to garbage piece out. Listen, it's facts what this guy is saying. Vinnie had a terrible display, and if Vinnie had scored that opportunity, we would be going into the second leg with a 2-2 draw. So I agree with that, but saying that this is a false narrative is also just straight up insane. If you say that Mbappé wasn't bad for the entire match up until the goal, and even after the goal, he was also not pressing, also not defending. If you say that that is me creating false narratives, then I'm questioning how the hell do you guys even watch the matches? Do you guys watch with the blindfold on and wait for Mbappé to score? Do you guys watch the highlights? So many questions I can ask. And then we go on to the next one. This guy says, yeah, now you've taken it too far. He pressed a decent amount more and has made a few chances, which is his job. It would be hypocritical of you to make or to not make a Vinnie video. You are seeming more like an Mbappé hater and a Vinnie fan than a Madrid one right now. So, look at these clips. Tell me, where did he press a decent amount? Tell me, where did he press? Look at these clips. Look at it with full detail. Look at it. Where did he press? He did not press. Not at all. But you are right. If I don't speak about Vinnie, then of course I am being biased and I am being a fake fan or an Mbappé hater. But I spoke about Vinnie in this video, so this doesn't really matter at this point anymore. But guys, please don't sit there and make up your own stuff and lie about Mbappé pressing. The man was not pressing. I can show you it here again on the screen. But let's move on to the next subject. Bayern Munich's press was absolutely crazy in this match. But we knew this before. They press aggressively. And that's why I thought Mbappé and Vinnie could take advantage of the high line. I truly thought so. But my word, were Bayern just so solid. From defense to attack, from start to finish, they were insane. Let's talk about all the mistakes because this leads me to Thiago Pitach. But let me first talk about the mistakes. Carreras made so many mistakes. He was overall just getting cooked by Olise. And people will say he had a horrible performance. I will agree, he had a horrible performance. But I won't deny that this guy also saved us from conceding another. He cleared Upamecano's shot, which was on the line. So we have to give him credit there. But further on, this was one of the worst performances I think I've ever seen from a player. And I think the game got to him. Am I giving up on Carreras? No, this is like one of his bad performances out of his many fantastic performances. And then we had mistakes from Vinnie. His mistake actually led to the first goal. Then we have Pitach who made another mistake, like the same mistake he made against City. And I think this guy has to be punished for this. He has to be benched in the next match. Trent was making mistakes. Valverde, I think I did say Valverde already. But either way, let's move on to Pitach because I've been seeing a lot of criticism for him. People say he's not that good. He has to be benched. I still think he has value. He's only 18 years of age. He's gonna be the next Vitinha or Pedri. I'm confident in it. This game, however, with a high aggressive press, and him who is kind of press resistant, was struggling because there was moments in the match where 5 players are pressing him and nobody's next to him. He has no one to pass to. So what does he do? He messes up or he kicks the ball out. So with people who over criticize this 18-year-old, shame on you. I am joking there. You know, people criticize him more. He's 18, so I guess you can criticize Pitach. But either way, let's talk about Bellingham's energy when he came up. My word, he came up for Pitach and this man changed the entire atmosphere. We started playing good. His runs was good. His energy was fantastic. Bellingham played better than I thought he would. Another player who also had fantastic energy was Brahim Diaz. And I think the both of them should have overall started. They were just fantastic. So now with the second leg coming up next week, Wednesday, it's going to be an insane match. Let me give you my personal lineup I would play. This would be my lineup. Lunin to start at goalkeeper. Fran Garcia and Carval starting in the fullback positions, Militao and Rudiger starting in the centre back positions. Then I would have a midfield five of Kamavinga because he's a CDM and Joamin is out. There's no other option. Or otherwise I would play Pitas there, but I'm choosing Kamavinga, Valverde, Argula, Bellingham, Brahim, and then Vinnie playing as a striker. I think this is our best shot at winning the match, but it's unrealistic. The most realistic way to look at this and the most realistic lineup is Lunin starting in goal, Fran Garcia at left back, Trent at right back, Militao and Rudiger, Kamavinga, Bellingham, Argula, Valverde, Kylian Mbappé and Vinnie Jr. Do I think we win the second leg no matter which lineup we play? I'm not confident, I don't know. What I'll say is for now, I'll say we're gonna lose. But either way, tell me your thoughts in the comment section. I will be reading, I will be responding. But if you enjoyed the video, smash like, subscribe, turn on notifications. It truly helps with the channel. Peace out.